Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins and three crazy rescue dogs who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to learn ASL, and is trying to train for an Ironman while renovating her house. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. If you are returning, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drinks, sit down, let's have at it. First thing we do on my show is ASL, the sign of the week. The sign of the week is what? Well, of course, it's Halloween because today is Halloween. So, Halloween can be signed in several different ways. But the way I do it, and the way most of my classmates and my teachers do it, is Halloween. So, kind of like a mask. So, you're going to do like V fingers right above your eye. Like so, Halloween. So, happy Halloween. There you go. More you know. That is not to say that that is the only way to sign Halloween, because as I said, it is not. There are several ways to sign Halloween. So, update on the cat situation. Houdini is still not here. So I had made arrangements to go and meet this. I was going to meet this person this weekend, the daughter, to get the cat. On Saturday, she texted, she's like, do you want to do it today? And I was like, that's fine. The only thing on my agenda is I had to take the three amigos down to get their nails trimmed. Yes, I still go all the way. It's like a half hour away to go see my friend Brian's shop, because Brian's shop has never hurt my girls. I've taken two of my dogs. I took Lizzie and my former dog, my dog who passed away, Keegan, to a shop up here one time. And they took them in back. And I don't know what happened, but it was a complete clusterfuck. And ever since then, Lizzie is like, it's taking us a long time, like pre-pandemic long time, to get Lizzie where she will even allow them to touch her feet. This last time, the girl didn't quite listen to me, which is fine. It ended up fine. You have to start at Lizzie's front left paw, when her anxiety is the least amount, or her stress level is kind of still lower, and then work your way around. I don't know what it is about this paw. I don't know. This paw has been an issue since we've had her. I've taken her to the vet. Like, at one point we did see a little cut in there. It's healed. I don't know. I don't know. That's part of the challenges of owning a rescue. Sometimes you just don't know. Okay, so she started on this side and worked her way around. So by the time she got to this paw, Lizzie was about done. We still got it done. It worked out fine. So anyways, long story short. So person had asked me, she said, I have a meeting in this town from 9 to 2. Can we meet after that? And I was like, absolutely, that works out perfect, because the amigos will be done with their nails. About 4 o'clock, she goes, I guess we're not meeting. I'll take Houdini home with me. And I was like, what do you mean take him home with you? And she's like, well, I left him in the car during the meeting. Her meeting was from 9 to 2. She goes, I guess we'll just meet tomorrow. And I was like, well, I can drive to you and get him. She goes, no, it's too late. It's fine. I was like, okay, tomorrow's fine. My day is completely open for the most part. Like, all I had to do was a couple things around the house was on my agenda. But at this point, I'm getting worried about the cat. So I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. Tomorrow works out fine. She texts me in the morning, because at that point I was like, where do you want to meet? Like, what? I don't know what's halfway between your house and my house, because honestly I don't know where she lives. And I said, I'm in, Lake Orion, which everybody knows. So we agreed to meet in the Lakeside Mall area. So apparently that was about halfway for both of us. That's fine. That is the boy child making weird noises. Okay, so she texts me in the morning. She goes, yeah. So we had Houdini in his crate, and we were gathering up the rest of his stuff for you, but he escaped. So I'm thinking Houdini like is in their house, right? Because where else would he be? Like, or maybe he's in the car because apparently Houdini is outside. So they looked around for about an hour, hour and a half before she texted me back. She goes, I don't know. We've looked around. We can't find him. Hopefully he'll come back. We'll have to take it day by day. So I have no idea. This is causing me more stress and anxiety than I can even put into words. And I don't know how much of it I should take to my mom and be like, what in the world? What in the world? So right now I'm just kind of... So I will keep you posted on Houdini because I don't know. I hope he's okay. I honestly don't know. But it also raises all of these red flags of, if this is how she's treating this poor animal, how is she treating her mom? And I know I've said that before, like, but it really is reinforcing that concern. Okay, so keep an eye on. By the way, do you like my shirt? I made my shirt. I sewed my own shirt, and in the dark, the eyes glow, and they really do it. It's really kind of fun. It is kind of a longer, almost. I could get away with, honestly, it's long enough where I could get away with wearing it as a dress, but I have leggings on because, well, to be honest with you, I just don't want to shave my legs. There you go. There you go. TMI, but that's total honesty. I am just too lazy. Okay, so last week was my birthday. It was fantastic. One of the things that I got from somebody is this. This is amazing. That is handmade lace. From, he can't remember if it's from like 1890s or if it's a newer piece. He got two of them. One is from his mom, was for his mom, and one is for me. It could be a little bit newer. But is that not gorgeous? Oh, it's absolutely goodness. So I think that's really, really cool. And it's absolutely stunning. So I got that. Then I also got a I don't know what that is. A bottle of the pumpkins. Okay, so one of my things that I like in the fall, yes, I'm very basic, let's just get over with that. Okay. Is I like a chai tea from Starbucks, which I know that's repetitive. So I want a chai with pumpkin syrup or pumpkin sauce in it. And most of them have been running out of the pumpkin sauce, which is kind of sad because you can only get the pumpkin sauce during the fall. So I now have a bottle of the pumpkin sauce. So I can make my own chai pumpkin latte at home. And that kind of makes me happy. Okay, so we've done that. I think that's, yeah. I'm gonna get ready to go to campus. We're going to watch Hocus Pocus with the sign language going as well. So we're gonna throw hands. That'll be fun. This Wednesday, I am going to U of M for the day to meet with a neuropsychologist, which sounds really bad, but it's really not. It's not like it's a big deal. But we're going to redo all of my testing for learning disabilities and stuff. We're going to make sure everything is covered. So I have that to look forward to. I already had to fill out one questionnaire that they sent me. It was like 300 questions. But I don't understand. Okay, so those of you who are in the field, if there's somebody watching the show, like, what difference does it make if I, like, some of the questions were, are you afraid of spiders? Are you afraid of snakes? I don't understand why that's a big deal. Am I afraid of them? Yeah. Did I put that I was afraid of them? Yes. Just kind of a weird thing. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about things. Okay, so the last two numbers, so November numbers were called for WIPGO, which is fine, but because then by process of elimination, you know what December's numbers are. So technically for November, my focuses are, so the numbers that were called were 4 and 23. Now, I've already done block 4 because that was to work on my oldest whip, and I did that one in August as an extra block. So for me, block 23 is the Disney sale. And we're going to talk about that a bit because I'm going to show you things. Okay, so then what that leaves me left square-wise that has not been worked on, Lady of the Flag, which I got to figure out why I keep putting it off. I can't necessarily blame it on the fact that I can't get my PDF to load up right in Pattern Keeper. Because I could just, I mean, I have the real pattern. Or I could just print off the PDF file that I have and do it like that, because like that's not hard. I mean, we've all worked from paper before. And then Tree of Life from Barbara Anna. So it is very okay. Once I get over whatever brain hurdle is facing me with Lady of the Flag, I will have a complete bingo board blackout of WIPGO. I may even end up with that by the end of November, which would be amazing because then I know what I want to do for December. But I'm not going to force issues. Because sometimes like on Saturdays or a Sunday, I may pick up I may do work on one whip in the morning and one in the evening. So then I count like a day for which, like, so, okay, so that makes sense. So we may have it. I am still going back and forth on the WIPGO board for next year. I want to do WIPGO. I want to keep making progress on things and finishing up things that, I mean, I have an insane amount of patterns and I have an insane amount of whips that have stitches in them or have, even just that I've kitted up. It's like, Bobby, if you're watching this, because I know you're behind on your Flosstubes and stuff, and I don't know, I have probably more whips and kits than you do. So my thought is that if I can get my WIPCO board done in November or even the first part of December, what I'm going to do for the rest of December is I am doing Whips Be Gone. So I will, but some of these are Christmas presents, so they have to be done. And some of them, and to be honest with you, okay. So on here was Happy Halloween, which we know I finished. Plant Love, which I did finish, and I'll show you guys. I thought I showed you, but no, I finished it this last week. So we'll talk about that. Merry Little Christmas, which I'm selling, and I'm just using Christmas Sal, I think is what I posted the other day. And that is super, super cute. But that's a Christmas present. And I got the finishing piece that I want to put it on. And oh my God, it's so cute. So cute. Okay. So Tree of Life, which is a WIPGO piece. Just the 10 days. That's my goal. But in that 10 days, I'd really like to get the tree part done. We'll see. That's a stretch in 10 days. But before the end of the year, that is my goal. The castle on the Disney sale, the center castle, or a castle, I want to get the center section top done. Whether that means, we'll talk about it. Okay. Then the 10 days on Lady of the Flag. I'd like to finish the black ring on Marine Corps emblem. I need to sew the towel ends for the tea towel with the squirrel on it. FFO, my cookie exchange. And then FFO, Merry Little Christmas. I want to finish my Elmo headrest seat cover for the Jeep. And that's almost done. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I need to catch up my Under the Sea sale. That is my focus for the end of the year. The other thing that I really need to do is get my patterns, both on my computer and in my file like cabinet, organized and inventoried, so that I know what the heck I'm doing. It is really hard for my brain to do otherwise. Okay, so um, as far as haul, I have two things for haul. One of the things. Okay, so I am in the No New Starts group, and that is one of the groups that I'm going to stay in. I have dropped out a couple of the challenge groups just because I don't I don't have the brain power to manage it all. I don't. And the whole posting a picture before you start and before you finish, sometimes I'm really good at that and sometimes I'm not. And I just don't need the extra pressure. And so I am electing to remove myself from that stress. I'm trying to really be good about being good to myself with not getting stressed out about a hobby that is meant to relieve stress. I am staying in the No New Starts group, and I am really, the things that are coming out for next year, I am totally jazzed about. The focused author is Jennifer Chiaverini. For those of you who have never read a Jennifer Chiaverini book, she wrote the Quilter's Apprentice series. She has several others too about like women in World War II era. She's wrote the Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker. They're my favorite series. Honestly, as an adult, they are my favorite series. They're lighthearted. They deal with relationships, um, not only just a mother-daughter relationship that was strained, but also with other women and healing and then the added bonus is she's a crafter. She's a quilter. They're quilters and how that brings them together and how that like and you get a lot of history of quilting and things like that. Anyways, I love the series. I absolutely love the series. And I cannot wait to reread the series. And I have read, it is one of the few series I have read multiple times. They are also available on audiobooks, which is why I didn't read the series last year or well, for this year because it wasn't available on audiobooks. And I know that sounds really selfish, but I am not one right now at this stage of life that I sit and just read a paper book usually. It is very rare for me to read a paper book anymore. But I can throw an audiobook on when I'm driving all over God's green earth between school. I mean, my classes are a 40-minute drive away. So, and that's one way. So, and then, yeah. So they are focusing on those books, which is awesome. They're also they just changed the group's name. So you can join, but you have to answer the questions. Otherwise, you won't get approved, just So answer the questions because it's a fun group. Let's see. No idea that is. The new group name, so when you search it, you kind of will know, is dun, 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 Whip Warriors. Whip Warriors. So the page looks like this right now. So Whip Warriors. And again, you can join, you just have to answer the questions and stuff so we can get ready for next year. So anyways, so going back to that, one of my whips in my craft disaster zone, because I love to quilt, I love to sew. That is one of my other, I'm multi-craftual. Um, One of the projects has been, and it's been forever. Like we won't talk about how long I've had this whip. Is in one of the books, Sylvia, who is the one of the main characters, gets remarried, and all of her friends from around the country, and I actually think around the world, send in quilt blocks, and it's called Sylvia's Bridal Quilt. And for a while there, the pattern was free, and I downloaded them and I have them printed. So I actually do have them printed in the box with all of my fabric that sorry, I have something in my eye, that I want to use for this. And I have started several of the blocks. I think I have like 10 or 15. It's 164 6-inch blocks. Okay, so one of my squares I actually finished, and I took it when I met Jennifer Chavarini, and I had her sign my quilt block. I broke down, and it was less than $10. I bought the actual, so then she ended up releasing the actual patterns and directions on how to make them in a formal book. So I just went ahead and bought the book just to make sure that I have all of every single square for the quilt. So what I have decided is each of my Whip Go goals are still only, I'm going to say 10 days. 10 days, 10 days. That is my plan. Is I have several focus pieces that they're BAPs. So the periodic table, the Rosie the Truck, Kay, Monopoly, Jeep Van Gogh. I think I picked like 6 focus pieces, and they're all on the board like 4 times. Each of those times it's called, I'm stating 10 days, like I do, because it's an achievable block in any given month. Or if I get a little behind, it's easy to it's easy to catch it up. Okay, so one of the other things is that I am also going to work on each month making a couple of the squares that go into the sampler, into the quilt. So you guys will be seeing sewing a lot more. Actually, I don't know that I've really ever sewn you a whole lot of sewing. So you guys will be seeing my quilting and my sewing next year. That will be a main focus, just so you guys know and are giving the heads up. Okay. So, and that will also clear out another huge bin off my shelves. And another huge whip. And I don't know that I'll get all 164 squares done next year. Depends. I mean, some of them are easier than others. That's not really a project I can travel with. So it's one of those I've got to be home, so that, it may be a little bit more difficult. Now, I will say that next semester, my classes, I have 3 classes. It's Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So hopefully that will work out well. Okay. So that was that was one of my hauls that came in. The other haul that came in, I'm going to wait to show you when I show you Merry Little Christmas, because it's the finishing piece and you can't see it in the background or whatever. Okay, so I started knitting crocheting. I crochet because it's faster. The headrest cover for Elmo. And I just need to finish sewing down his eyes and then adding the black. And then that will go over my headrest cover. It kind of looks like Elmo, right? It'll be cute. So my goal on my Whips Be Gone is to just, I have to, like I said, I have to finish tacking down his eyeballs, and then I have to do the little black center parts. It does fit. I think it's kind of cute. It's cheesy. Whatever. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's fine. Okay. So what have I been stitching? Because I have finishes and I have stitching. So I'm just going to grab from my pile over here. And as I grab things, we'll talk about them. Okay. Because we all know that I'm not the most organized. I want to be. I want to be that person. I want to be that person who's got her shit together. Currently, I am not that person. I'm not. One day I will. Oh. Girl child is home from class. Follow up on financial aid. Get them done? Okay. So, excuse the dog bells. My dog bell works. All 3 of them. Okay. So, this is, again, organized. I wish I was that girl. I do. I really do wish I was the girl who was organized. Right now, I am not. I am the mom who is barely holding her shit together. Okay. So, It's Christmas Time by the Fat Quarter Shop. It is free from the Fat Quarter Shop. It is charted in both Classic Colorworks and DMC. I went ahead and splurged because it is a gift for somebody I actually really like. Because sometimes I make gifts for people I don't like. It's true. It's just easier. Like, you know, that's how my sister-in-law's got gifts for years. Of course, I'm snarky, and my one sister-in-law, that's why for Christmas every year I made her stuff that said ho 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 on it. If you know, you know. Okay, anyways, I digress. So I did splurge, and I am doing it in the Classic Colorworks. I will say that, honestly, normally I'm a DMC girl. Is the floss nice to work with? Yes. Do I use my floss wax, my sewing wax? Absolutely. I actually, for this project, I'm using cinnamon sticks because then maybe it will smell more cinnamony. And for Christmas, who wouldn't want that? Okay, so I am going to stitch it again because I'm absolutely in love with this finishing that I'm going to show you in just 1 second. Idea, and I'm hoping that my mom still has one of these at her house that she'll let me have, because I totally want to keep this, and it's been really hard for me to come up with the idea that I'm going to let it go. But I think unless I have enough floss left over from the skeins that I have right now, I'm just going to go ahead with the DMC. I am kitting it up for a classmate who I'm going to teach how to cross stitch, and I'm just going to kit her up the DMC because I think I have I know I don't have 8/16. I'll have to go get that. But I think I have the other DMCs. So it is just on a piece of cream color or off colored 14 count Aida. 14 count Aida in natural is the called for. So I figured off white was about as close as I was going to get. It looks kind of creamy. So there's where we are. That's about right around halfway done. I'm working on the set of mittens that are up here. So once the mittens are done, that will be for sure the halfway point. But I have started on those berries. Those berries are actually done. I don't have the holly leaves done. And this half of Christmas is on the bottom two pieces. So I consider myself just over halfway done. How cute is that? It's so cute. It's so cute. But I don't see a whole lot of color variation to warrant spending $2.50 a skein versus 63 cents a skein. I don't know. Maybe a little in the bow. Yeah, maybe a little in the bow in the one color red, but otherwise I don't. Again, not enough to warrant that much of a price change. But Hallmark used to sell these little, one year they sold a sled, a wagon, I think it was a tricycle. I think it was a little miniature tricycle. And I tracked one down actually on Etsy. I had originally thought that when I stitched it, I could do it so that you could hang it up, and I was going to put some greenery stuffs up here with it here. On 14 count Aida, it's too big, and I'm too far along to stitch it again, to be honest with you, for Christmas and to be under the gun. So it will go this way. Oh, shit. Maybe it won't. Okay, so new plan, now that we're talking about it. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Thank you for the ideas. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to still hang it like this, like we did. See, I mean, even the freaking original Hallmark tag is on there. So, we're going to hang it like this. It will just kind of go over the edges. Perfect. See that? I think that will be absolutely adorable. I'm absolutely in love with this. Maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know, but I am. It brings me joy, which is, you know, and the other day I was working on this. This is only like 2 days worth of stitching. I couldn't put it down. I had to put it down because I had other things to do, but I did not want to do that. Okay. All right. Hold, please. Talk amongst yourselves. I will be right back. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back. I thought I hit the record button. Apparently I didn't when it came back. And yeah, so, but we're back together again. So thank you for talking amongst yourselves and having fun. I hope the conversation was good. And again, welcome to my crazy. We all know. Okay, so I am, like I said, I am hoping my mom has a second sled that she'll let me take. Because I want to, I really like that finishing idea. I'd gone through my hoard of stuff and I found these for the top part. I have like 3 or 4 of these and a couple of these stems, and then I'm going to get some like the Christmas tree limbs, the fern, it's not fern, fir, Christmas fir, evergreen. I'm going to get some evergreen, and maybe a bow, and I just think that's going to be stellar. I really hope that my friend's mom loves it as much as I do, because I think I may actually be a little heartbroken if she doesn't. But this is going by super fast, y'all. So if you're going to sell it with me, now, again, I'm going to stitch it a second time. It may not be until Christmas break. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not so worried about it for me for decorating this year. But I am going to stitch it the second time. I am kitting it up and going to teach my classmate how to stitch, and we're going to do that for her and stuff. Okay, so then the next thing that I worked on, at this point, the whip code pools, I just treat them all as if we're going to just get the last 3 squares done as soon as possible. It's a total of 30 days worth of stitching. Because again, 10 days or a finish before that. But let's be honest, the 3 projects I have left are not projects that are going to get finished in 10 days. Unless all I did was sit and stitch all day, all 10 days. And that is just not practical in my world. Okay, so the next one so what I did is the other night is I pulled the one that was missing from my table. And that was the Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna. This was you had to contact Nitka Moscow, and the only way at that time that you could contact her really was on Instagram, which is fine, because then I also got is it the Christmas tree or the Christmas Tree of Magic? Anyways, I got them both. They come in a lovely tube. The tube is sitting in the room of doom because it's awkward to fit in the, I put the project in my bag, which is weird because everything fits in the tube. But somehow in my goofy brain, I can't have the tube sitting on the shelf. I have to have it in a project bag. But now that I'm talking about it with you guys, I realize how ridiculous that is. I should just put it back in the tube and then put a different project in this bag. And while I love the fabric for this bag, I absolutely love this fabric. It's from Joann's. It's simple. I don't like this bag. I love the size for some of my bigger projects. Absolutely. I didn't put any, it's floppy. It's floppy. And I don't know how to make it unfloppy now that it's all sewed. I don't know. So if anybody has an idea of how to make it unfloppy, like these have, with the vinyl front that I've been doing, they have some fusible fleece and then the structure of the vinyl. So they kind of stand up. This one doesn't. It's like having a pillowcase with a zipper. It doesn't really work. Okay, so anyways. So in here is Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna. This is the only picture I have available. It's the only one that came with it. Kind of weird. So my goal for Whip Go is 10 days. My goal for Whips Be Gone is to get this tree part done. And the reason that is so critical is because the kit comes with all your flosses on these beautiful floss cards. Like, on this. I mean, it comes all lovely. Um, and that is literally all the colors that are involved. How crazy is that? Like, I love the fact that Barbara Anna is like, here's my 10 or less colors to make this gorgeous. And somehow it works. It's crazy to me. Woman is genius. Okay, so it came with linen though. And at the time I didn't stitch on linen. So I have since, unknowing that I would be learning how to stitch on linen, I gave my linen away because it was just collecting dust. So I have it on a cream color, cream off-white color. It looks like it might be a 16 count. It doesn't look like it's 18. I think it's a 16 count Ada. I'm not sure that I cut my piece right. I kind of like counted the sets of 10 up and did that on my fabric. So I think I'm okay, but I won't know until I get that center pole done. Because I do have the bottom. So when I came into the other day, I had the this line stitched across, and I had up until about here done. So last night I worked on it and I got this section in. So my goal in the 10 days again is to make sure that my fabric fits. Because yeah. Because otherwise we are going to have to restart it. Because I don't, every shelf has got a bunch of doodads on it. I don't know that I can adjust the design if I'm short. I don't think I can, other than like, no, I don't know. Because it's literally, it's then in the shape of a tree. So I think I would just have to kind of chuck this and start over. The one thing I will say that I will likely do is change the cat to a dog, which really in my world just means shortening his tail, likely, because my dogs, two of my dogs have ears like that, and he's laying down. So I think it's just a matter of shortening his tail to make it look more like my dog, one of my dogs. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. Maybe I'll just leave it and be... Anyways. Okay, so we have 9 more days left on that. Or until the tree shape, the tree base is done. Okay. So we kept working because that's what we do. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is Plant Love by Stitch Life magazine. It was in their Stitchy box the first part of 2020. Okay. The artwork was by Chirp and Whimsy. Then Dana from Stitch Life converted it to a stitch pattern. Apparently I can't count, and I was not frogging anything. Because at that point there was a whole lot in. I knew I was off on her dress, but I fixed it, and that shouldn't have created the problem that it did. But there were some problems. So this is Kelly's adaptation of Plant Love, and it's done, and I love it. So these shouldn't have butted up against each other like this. And then this was supposed to in here be this huge balloon with 3 shades of blues and greens. I think kind of reminiscent of the earth is what it reminded me of. But yeah, so that didn't work out. So we adjusted. So this is Kelly's adaptation of Plant Love, and I love it. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with it now that it's done, but it's done. And so yeah, so that was the second piece that I used for the my square, where I was working 10 days on the closest to being done with. The first one that I did was finished up was Happy Halloween, which I've showed you guys. And then the second one was Plant Love. And that actually was 9 days worth of stitches between the two. I'm not going to worry about that extra day, because if I wanted to, I think the next... Oh, so then the next one that I was working on was the cookie exchange. And what I did decide is I'm not going to do all the little stuff around it. So this is my finish for the cookie exchange. I literally just did the little table with all of the stuffs on it. So if I wanted, I could count this as the extra day. It did take me more than one day, but whatever. I'm going to get one of those little easy bake oven type or size cookie sheets, and I'm going to finish it on that with, again, some bow and some greenery. But how cute is that? Now, this is by Hands On Design. It was a cookie exchange from last Christmas from Hands On Design. I think it's absolutely adorable. I thought the whole pattern it is cute. What I didn't understand was why the 3 floating cookie cutters. It didn't make sense to me. And then I was just like, okay, I don't want all the extra fruit on top, because here's the one thing that I will say that does bother me. And this is a me issue. And we all know I have issues. See how the table is finished here? This is the complete table, right? But it gets cut off on this side. Why? So my brain may just need to add in those few stitches of brown to make the corner rounded, because I just can't. And that's why I couldn't do, I had issues with the star garland over here that goes up top, because it, again, it cuts it off there. And I'm like, why? And so my solution was just to eliminate the star garland, which is fine. I think it's still an adorable size because the exchange is for a small, and it's supposed to be no bigger finish than a 6x6. So I think I am actually going to pull the pattern and remember what shade of brown I used. And I'm going to add in the few stitches just to finish out that corner, because that is so, the more we talk about it, the more it just gets under my nerves. But I finished that, so I just need to FFO it for my partner. And I have I even sprung for the Lady Dot Creates bric rack. I didn't get the board at the time, and they haven't made any more boards, and that's fine, because I think I like the cookie sheet idea better, because the cookie board, the wood board was cute, but it was odd. Okay. But wait, there's more. No more finishes. That's it, I think. Yes, every other finish I've already showed you before. Okay, so I did pull out the Under the Sea Sal. The other drop came in. We are still behind. We are not judging. My whip be gone goal is to catch it up. Are we making progress on that? Yes. What I figured out why I get frustrated with this is you take like 3 stitches of one color, and then you have to end it and change it again. Like, I can't get into by the time I'm getting into a groove, it's time to go to a different color, and it bothers me. So yes, I know that the drop for down here came out. It's not sea turtles. It's a boy. It's a little boy swimming, and I don't remember what animal is next to him. It's not a turtle. They're not turtles. I know you guys are all yelling at the screen, and I don't know. But I started to get in my sea otter. Hang on 1 second. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I do know who it is. Hang on. Hold on, please. Hello? This is? Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, the plumber should be here within an hour. Maybe. Okay. I'm sorry. That was the plumber calling to let me know that they were on their way. For my birthday gift, rather than me messing around with the plumbing, which I know I can fix. I know I can fix it. It's just a matter of having, can I find the right tool? Because my porch area is a mess, and that's where my tools are for the most part, and asking my kids to organize it is never going to happen. Okay, so for my birthday gift, my friend is paying for the plumber to come and fix the leak. Because it's ruining my subfloor and creating a small hole, and that's not good. Okay, so I worked on the under the sea cell. So it is not a whip go goal. It is a whip be gone goal, and that is to get it current to wherever current is. Now, I am behind. We all know this. And then this section just dropped, and it's a little boy. I don't remember what is swimming with him. I don't think they're turtles, but for the life of me, I cannot remember offhand. I have not printed it out, obviously. It came out last week. Whatever. So yeah. So they finally put a boy in there after I switched the one little girl to a boy. But that's okay. That's okay. So I have not stitched any of the border yet. And at first I wasn't sure I was keeping under the sea at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I think I am going to go ahead and, oh, that's weird. I think I am going to go back and go ahead and stitch it. So I think this and that final bit of border. So we may only have one more month before it's finished. So we'll see. I don't know. Okay. So I stitched this little otter. He's done, except for there's some back stitching on his fins, his back feet. And then I started the second otter. I still love this. I really do love it. Oh, I have to put in the big school of fish after the otter, the big school of fish. And then that border, and then the next piece, which I know, like I said, is a little boy, but I don't know what's swimming next to the little boy. I don't think it's turtles. It could be a turtle. I don't know. You guys are probably all yelling at me what it is, but I don't know. Whatever. So here's why I struggle to work on this. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it makes me happy to look at. But the motifs are so small that by the time I get into a stitching groove, it's time to move on to the next color. So I'm struggling with that. And then because I don't know what's next, like with the people, I struggle forever. Like, do I change him to a boy? Do I change her to a boy? Do I leave it? Like, because I wanted it to look like my family. That is why they are not multicultural people. I think it's absolutely amazing that the Frosted Pumpkin did that. Okay, I love that factor. But this is hanging in my house. In my house, we're white bread people. And I wanted the characters to look like my family. That is why I've taken the time. That's why my mermaid does not have purple hair. That's why, so I've changed those changes. And so not knowing what was next, it also plays into, okay, so what else am I going to have to change kind of thing. So this little boy that's going to go down here, I will chart him so that I will adjust his hair color or whatever so that he looks like Jay. Lately. So So my goal is for Whips Be Gone to get caught up, which means what I really should do is print off the current pages so that I know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, okay. So then I worked on, because Whips, so for Whip Go, I've used this piece multiple times on Whip Go. Which I'm grateful because, as you guys know, this is going to be a gift from my friend's husband, who is a retired Marine. So I have used this. It got called for, let's see, how many times? Oldest whip, I used it. Not because it's necessarily the oldest whip, but it was the whip for the oldest person I know right now that I'm stitching something for. So I used that then. It actually got called one month because it was on here as a score. And then I used it as my least favorite whip to work on because that ding circle. We all know how much I struggle with it. So that took me. So now that part, like now I've gotten into where I really do enjoy working on it. So for Whips Be Gone, my goal is to get the black interring of it. And what am I talking about? That would be the Marine Corps emblem. So I did work one day on, I brought down a couple here, but then I popped down here to get the letters outlined. Because otherwise this is like this whole section here is just fill in a black. So I don't even have to concentrate on counting anymore. So I may take this one to campus with me today. And while we're watching Hocus Pocus, I can just blindly stitch. Not blindly, but I don't have to worry about counting. It's just a block fill in. In a perfect world, this would be done for Christmas. Guess who doesn't live in a perfect world? Me. Will it get done as soon as possible? Yes. It's not going to be for this Christmas. So we'll just take it for what it is. Okay. So then I also, just because I was sort of fighting with myself in the fact that I wanted a new start, but I didn't want a new start. So I went into my bag of projects, because we all know I have a lot of projects. And I pulled out Summertime by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I picked this one up at StitchCon. We started it at StitchCon. It gets housed in my Stephanie bag, which is not a Stephanie. It is not made by Stephanie, but Stephanie gifted it to me, and it's a so much to love bag because it's got the little felt heart like she does, which is super cute. But it's my beach bag that I got from Stephanie. I am stitching this on Fortnite Fabric Sea Glass that was gifted to me by Nicole. That I am absolutely in love with this fabric. I love the color. It is linen. It is not an even weave. It is definitely a linen. I am learning. But I love stitching on it, but it does take, I have to stitch on this when my eyes are not tired and my lighting is good. So pulled it out, and my goal is to finish the word lemonade. I have been working on the word lemonade for far too long. But I got the M in, so now we just need the L and the E. And we'll have lemonade. So once I get lemonade done, we would be almost at the top. Almost. So then the question is, do I work on ice cream? Or do I come back down here and work on the suitcases? So I don't know. I feel like the suitcases might, I don't know. Ice cream looks fairly like it would go fast because they're not, I don't know. So we'll see. Okay, so that's that. So that is, how cute is that? It's so pretty. I wish this fabric showed up better, like true to color. It's this beautiful, it's kind of green with a hint of blue in it. It is mottled, so like So I absolutely love that. So we'll just keep plugging away on that. There's no pressure there. That's a me project. There's no deadlines or anything. It's not on any board. It's not on a board right now that I have not. So what I did with my WIPGO board is I put my big pieces on there. And then I'm also going to, sorry, I made a copy of my pattern for Tree of Life. Because I didn't want to destroy the original, and it's a weird size, so you have to like copy it in sections. Anyways, so what I did with my WIPGO board for next year, if I keep it the way it is right now, is I have my like 6 focus pieces that are all big projects. A couple of them are gifts. Actually, all but I think one of them are a gift, but they could be like a gift for my own kid kind of thing. I'm also going to focus on my actual Sylvia's bridal quilt. But then I have several other like smaller pieces that I'd like to get done or make significant progress on, that I'll work in. It's hard to take the periodic table anywhere to stitch unless I'm going like to StitchCon where I'm sitting. It's not like it's an easy take it to class sort of project. So I have several pieces that are like those grab and can take projects, and summertime is one of those for next year because I would really like to have it ready on the wall for next summer. So we'll see. Okay, so that leads me to my last square on WIPGO is the Epic Storybook Princess Sal from Clouds Factory. This has been a source of contention. And so, it's not that I don't love this piece. I love the pattern. I love that I have added so that I have almost 30 movies from Disney that will go on. I have 29 right now, and I talked to Yvette the other day, just briefly, and she is starting to feeling the design bug back to start charting more of the Disney movies. I self-dyed this fabric because buying a piece of fabric big enough just for the original ones, just from Clouds Factory, in a dyed fabric would have been an arm and a leg. Far more than my budget at the time would allow. So I dyed a piece of fabric. It's a little bit darker than what I kind of wanted. I've tried washing it. I tried washing it, thinking the washing would fade out the dye. And it did to some extent. But I'm still, this is the one I'm struggling like. Do I re-dye a piece of fabric and start again? But then I was like, I looked at it, a picture of it. Part of it is I'm like, I think the design gets lost with the background. And so do I keep going thinking maybe once I have more of the design in, it won't be so lost on the fabric? Or do I just chalk it up? And then if I chalk it up to, okay, start again, how do I lay out the princess castles versus Maleficence? And if I start it again, what I will put in the middle is Disney Magic or something. Like, I wanted to say 50 years of Disney Magic, but it's 50 years of Disney Magic if you only do Disney World. We just finished that. That would also give a cutoff point for the movies, and I wouldn't have to worry about, okay, now what happens if we have new movies coming out? Because we all know Disney will keep putting out movies, but I'm not going to have space to keep adding. That would sort of give it an end date. The problem is that Snow White came out. Snow White and several of the movies came out before Disney World was created. So then, but I want to include those. So it's like, I guess I could go and do the math of so many years of Disney Magic or whatever. So I could put that in the middle and then put the 2 Princess Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty's castle over column 1 and 3. And then on the bottom of column 2, I could do Maleficent's castle. And I kind of like, okay, so if I do it that way, that makes sense. But again, I don't want to waste fabric if I don't have to. And I don't know what I would do with this fabric otherwise. And my whole concern was that the design is getting lost in the fabric. So that is what I have. So my Whips Be Gone goal is to get the center, whatever I decide to do, either this castle, or if I decide to re-dye fabric and start again, that center piece done. So that is the Disney's cap. It's almost, so the stitching is almost done. Now it is kind of getting blown out from the, but you sort of lose the blue and almost lose the purple. And I suppose somehow I could outline them maybe in gray, in a dark gray. I mean, I guess I could even outline them in black. But then I have to kind of outline the whole castle so it doesn't look funny. Or again, because my fabric is 60 inches wide, y'all. And it's like 2 yards down. I think it's 72 long. So I have room for lots of movies because I love me some Disney. Where the hell I'm going to have space on my wall to hang this thing? Not a clue. Not a clue. Because 72 inches is 6 feet. That's like floor to ceiling. So what do y'all think? What should I do? And I got to make the decision soon because it's on my Whip Go board. And I'm that close to having a complete blackout. And it's also on my Whips Be Gone. So we need to make a decision soon. I already cut a piece of fabric, a new piece of fabric that's cream, like an off-white, that is 60 by 72-ish. And I pulled out, actually it's a different blue. So I have evening blue. And I think if I was going to dye it again, I would just do like, I also have some pink. I think I might just do it only in blue with a touch of the ocean blue from Dylon, which is really kind of more purple. It's got a lot of purple. So I may just re-dye it like that, but like really soft. I don't know. No, I'm stumped. So that's where we're at. So that's all I have. So with that, I'm going to let you go. The plumber is due here any minute now. I have to gather up my stuff for class. I need to pack a lunch. Well, actually, it's a dinner. I have paperwork to do. So, and I have lots of things I have several things I need to print off. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. If you need me, you know where to find me on Instagram, and we will go from there. So, bye guys.